Hey, I thought I'd do a little video here showing you a Kickstarter that I'm following. Really excited about it. It's a Reaper Dungeon Dwellers role-playing game. And if you're not familiar, Reaper Miniatures, they have a line called the Dungeon Dweller line, which I don't know the history of it. I know it's an older line that they have the rights to, and their miniatures for that line are some of my favorite that they do. They're just really cool sculpts. So this is a Kickstarter. They're coming out with their own role-playing game. I haven't backed it yet, but I definitely will be shortly. It's currently got 894 backers, up to 83,000, well over what they needed, which is great. So there's a bunch of, like all Kickstarters, there's a bunch of tiers. I'll stop right there actually. So if you go to the Reaper website, there is several under Dungeon Dweller section. There's a bunch of modules and even an inn that's really well written that you can download for absolutely free. Really cool. And then with the Kickstarter here, there's this free PDF adventure, the Sun-Starved Shrine. I have downloaded it and I've been reading through it. It's a really well done module, I think. Starting beginner level, and it has some of their rule set and stuff in it for their RPG, so you can get started before the books are even out, which is pretty cool. Let's see, go down a little bit further. They talk a little about their rules. So the Dungeon Dweller RPG is a kind of an older school game. Right now it has 4 core classes, 4 core races, standard ability scores, D20 system, no skills. From what I can tell, it seems it's a lot like Castles and Crusades with the way it does skills. I think there's a little bit of difference, but it's based on your attributes and some other things, which I think is a really good way to do it. I actually like not having a skill list. Different spell system, not super, I did some reading on that today, and it's based on points, and it seems really interesting actually. I kind of excited, even my friend Dave, who plays the wizard in my Castles and Crusades game, he kind of liked what he read too, so very interesting. Let's see, go further down, I got the player's guide. So the player guide is 128 plus pages. Art with Wayne Reynolds, who's a legend. I really like Wayne Reynolds' art, and interior art by Max Dunbar, who's one of my favorites of artists of today's group of artists. Izzy Talon Collier does a lot of the artwork for Reaper anyway. Doesn't all those guys, all those artists there are really, really good. I think the art for this Kickstarter for these books is going to be really awesome. Just a brief player's guide, goes through all the stuff. Pretty straightforward. Looks like it's going to be really easy to play, not rules heavy, which is good. Just keep the action going. It's going to have a Game Master's vault, and same thing. 128 plus page book, hardcover, sewn binding, great artists, really cool. And then it's going to have its Denizens of the Dungeon, which is its monster manual, and another 128 page hardcover book with some terrific art. And go down a little bit further. So these are just some of this book, this obviously unlocked. This is a setting book for where the adventures take place. Reaper has always had their own setting. They haven't done tons and stuff with it. Back in the 3E era, I think they released some modules and stuff, but if you have a look at their miniatures, a lot of them are named and they have places named in them. And that's one of the things that really excited me about this Kickstarter was I love iconic characters. Paizo does a great job with its iconics. Earlier D&D had some iconics. Current D&D kind of let that go by the wayside, and I think it was a mistake. But they're going to be able to get into this and use their own setting and definitely have iconic characters. And I know that for a fact because I asked that question on the Discord, and the designer, he got right back to me and actually said yeah. And one of them I think was already ready to go, and he was working on the rest of them. So I think that's really cool. Honestly, it's one of the things that sold me on backing this. I don't need another role-playing game. I'm happy with Castles and Crusades, but I like this, the looks of this game, the artwork, the iconic characters, diving a little bit deeper into the Reaper setting. I'm a huge Reaper miniatures fan. Obviously from my videos you can tell that I have a lot of them. I've painted a lot of them, and I'm pretty looking forward to supporting this and seeing it come in. So here's just some of the stuff you get. Like, stuff's already unlocked. These miniatures, centipede miniatures. Ogre is almost unlocked. And coming up, there's a fortune mechanic. I don't know exactly how it works in the game, but the game master would award those to players, and I think it gives them a little bit of narrative control, which I think is a really cool idea. Games I've played other than like D&D and Castles and Crusades, a lot more narrative is put out by the players, and I think that can be really fun. So I'm looking forward to learning more about that. Just a map of the progress so far. Forge Studios did that map we just bypassed, and they did the map that's in the module adventure that's on this Kickstarter. It's a really cool map too. I went to their website earlier today and looked at their stuff. I wasn't familiar with them, and they have some really cool stuff. So this is the pledge I'm going to do because it makes sense. $99, which I think is a smoking deal, and you get all that stuff, print and PDF, which is great. You get some dice, you get some cardstock, fortune tokens, and you get these miniatures. Those are the iconic characters, and they'll be fleshed out in the game, which, if you're into that like I am, is pretty cool. Another miniature adventure, more miniatures. Not real heavy miniature intensive Kickstarter, which makes sense because it's more about the game, but they are putting out some models, and this is going to come in a big box set, like a deluxe box set, which is, again, another thing that I love is box sets. That really, for me, reminds me of old school playing when everything came in a box set, and it was awesome to get to open that stuff up and check it out. So I think they're packaging this perfectly. So you got a Wraith, the setting book, some centipedes, and then anything else that unlocks as far as like miniatures, and like there's a thing for, I think, at 100,000 they'll get metal tokens for that stuff, and those will be added to your that pledge, the $99 pledge, which really makes the most sense. Again, if you just want PDF, they have that, which is fine. PDF's okay. I don't mind having it, but I much prefer having a physical book, but that's just me. So these are just the different ones. You can just get the miniatures, but really at this point, I mean, the miniatures are starting to stack up, but I think you're better off just getting the $99 one and get everything, including every miniature that gets unlocked. What else we got? Yep, so that's it. It doesn't show on here, but they've advertised it on their other social media. One of the things they're doing right now is they have, let's see if I can get this to, this is like the most amateur review of a Kickstarter ever, I'm sure, but bear with me, guys. If you go back up here to the top, they have a couple things pending, like the tokens and the ogre, and that's on if they reach a certain dollar amount. But another one they have is one if they reach a certain number of backers. If they get 1,000 backers, they're going to add a beholder mini. They call it probably something different, but it's a beholder, and they're going to add that to the box set and the miniature set. So that's pretty cool. So hopefully they'll get that. I think they will. It's been going up pretty good today, and they still have 14 days to go. So yeah, I'm really excited. Looking forward to it. I think it's going to have killer art. It's going to be a nice, more rules-light, get right to the action type game. From what I've seen from the modules they've already, or adventures they've written, I think they're quality. skimming over them. The write-up on the Green Griffin Inn is excellent. Like, it's a great starting point if you need, and you could take any of these things and they're not so heavily embedded into the setting that you couldn't drop them into whatever setting you wanted to use. You know, I may even take some of them and drop them in my own setting. The inn especially is a great write-up. Just pull that and add it where you need it. But yeah, just thought if you guys hadn't seen this, it's worth checking out if you're a fan of role-playing games, and obviously if you're watching my channel, you are. And if you're looking for something a little different, a little more old school in flavor, you might want to give this a try. And thanks for watching.